Fenrir is back from prison. Hello guys and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode we're taking a look at Kashtira because for some reason Konami thought it was a good idea to give Fenrir back to Kashtira while we still have access to a Rise Heart. Now here's the thing, technically speaking I don't think that this deck will do a whole lot in terms of shaking up the metagame at the top of the tables. However, Kashtira was played a lot even without Fenrir at 3, and with Fenrir at 3, you still have the ability to play Kashtira. But not only that, we now even can play Pot of Desires. And let's be honest, no one wants to play against Kashtira. No one has a good time playing against Kashtira. It's like all of the mechanics that everyone hates. Besides maybe hand rip, but like everything else, people are just frustrated by Kashtira. So I don't know why we got this card back. But okay, let's talk about it. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the actual Kashtira cards here. We're playing the maximum amount of good cards, which is the 3 Fenrir and the 2 Unicorn, because those are the only good cards in Kashtira. I'm only joking slightly. We are also playing, of course, 1 Ogre, 1 Scareclaw Cash, and 1 Tier Cash, which, by the way, this card is also limited, which is funny. We're also playing 2 Rise Heart, not a Rise Heart, but 2 Rise Heart. Well, we are playing 2 Rise Heart as well, but beside the point. We're playing 2 of the main deck Rise Heart. The reason for this is because generally we don't want to draw it in any capacity. Like, we just don't really want to draw this card. We specifically want to search it off of Fenrir. However, it is very important to our combo, unlike some of the other cards here. So we do want to have extra copies in case it gets banned, in case one gets banished off of Pot of Desires. But again, for the most part, we don't really want to draw this. We are playing in a different normal summon, that of Planet Pathfinder, in order to search out the field spell. So we're playing 2 of that as well, for similar reasons, but also because we have other normal summons thanks to Birth. So there you go. As for the rest of the cards, triple Theosis, triple Birth, and that's pretty much it for the caches. We are playing 1 apiece of each of the traps because they are searchable, and yeah, that's pretty much it. As for the rest of the cards, there's a bunch of hand traps in here: Droll, Maxi, Ash, the Charmies in 2 Perulia and 3 Fua, as well as, of course, Shifter, and then Pot of Desires. Because, yeah, why would we not be able to play this card? Here's the thing, pretty much every deck can play this card. I don't know why we gave this card back. This card was seeing rampant play throughout all of the time before it got limited, and now they decided to put it back to 3, and it's immediately going back into like every deck under the sun at 3 copies. So I don't really know why we got this card back as well. Anyway, we're also playing 3 triple tack, and of course the Called By. The extra deck is pretty simple. We're playing 1 Baron because we are playing Ash, so you could just normal summon the Ash sometimes and make Baron. And then a bunch of rank 7s. Notably, we are playing the 3 Shangri-Ira and the 2 Rise Heart, as well as 2 Zeus and a Typhon, and an SP Little Knight. That's pretty much it. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alrighty, here we are going first, and wow, Belatro hand. We're going to start off here, obviously, with the field spell in order to search out the Unicorn, and my opponent is going to not do anything. Wow, I am surprised. Normally we get drolled. But that's fine. We're going to go for the Theosis here, which will be met by the Fua, which we will promptly Ash, because obviously. So yeah, now we get to punish them for having the audacity to interact with us. We do banish the, where is he? Requiem, because they're playing Fiendsmith. Then we get a look at the hand and rip another card from it, and yay. Anyway, out comes Rise Heart. We're going to go for the Shangri-Ira. We're going to summon the Rise Heart. We're going to banish the Trap card and lock one of their zones, as well as re-summoning out the Fenrir from underneath the Rise Heart. We're going to detach a material because I'm stupid and decided to activate the field spell effect for some reason. Literally have no idea why I did that. Anyway, my opponent draws for turn and passes, concedes, because they didn't have an out to the big Macrocosmos that steals all of their monsters and locks all of their zones. So, cool. Thanks, Kashtira. Alrighty, here we are going second, and wow, what a fun hand we have here. Huh. Well, we're going to start off here with the Perulia, which will, hey, they'll play into it even a little. They're going to go for the Tania. They're going to go for the Welcome Home. They're going to tribute a card. I'm going to go for the Fua Loss because they special summon it from the deck, and they are going to do nothing about it. Cool, I get to keep this Maxi then. Awesome. They're going to draw us a card. We draw into the Theosis, which is funny. They're going to then synchro summon it into, of course, Baron. We all love Baron, right? I draw Ash, which is funny. They're going to search out a card. They're going to go for the Lucina here, and they're going to special summon out the Lucina. And hey, that's actually a Kashtira monster. Fantastic. They're going to go for the Reyna here. Regina. Regina is going to then attribute in order to special summon, which draws us a card, and then special summon again, which is going to draw us another card. Fantastic. Cool. They're going to go for Rhapsody. Rhapsody effect is going to activate. They're going to reborn another guy in order to go into another synchro monster, which is going to draw us another card because the Muldrarmies are fair. Well, at least I drew Shifter, which is not very useful, but anyway, they're going to go for the Seraphim in order to synchro into the level 8 Excel Stardust Synchro. They're going to activate its effect in order to reborn the guy again in order to go into a 9, which they make Chaofeng with. I have no idea why Chaofeng is here. Okay, there's a Chaofeng. I draw a triple attack. They're going to pop the Chaofeng in order to trigger its effect to add a tuner. But we'll just Ash it, which forces out the Baron negate. So, sure, bud. What are you going to search here? Sylvie. I just rolled. I've drawn enough cards. I know what Sylvie does. No, you don't get to Sylvie. Cool. Well, fantastic game, huh? I'm going to activate the Max C here because this game hates its player base. Yay. Look, I don't know what you want from me here. They're going to attempt to negate, and I mean, they're going to be successful, but I do get to draw another card, which is kind of funny. We're going to grab another Birth here because it's funny. We're going to go for the Rise Heart here. They will now actually summon out the guy and modulate the levels, but that's okay because we just steal. They're going to move, which is fine. We're going to grab the Lucina here, then we're going to go for the Fenris, and we're going to activate the Fenris, and we're going to grab the Scare Claw Cash, and then we're going to special summon it, banishing a guy, and at this point, you should be able to see what's going on. Oh, also, we are going to go for the Pot of Desires here, drawing additional cards because it's funny. We're going to normal summon the Fenris and just walk over the field here. Fenris effect is going to banish a card and lock down the middle monster zone. Imagine if you wanted to use that or something. That'd be crazy. Anyway, here's a Rise Heart. Activate Birth, and they can have back their Lucina. I don't really need it. Cool. Oh, I had to discard a card for turn, which gave me the additional material. Anyway, we're gonna summon from deck the Ogre because for some reason I still have Ogre in my 6-card deck. I don't know. Look, this game was not a fun game, but hey, this is Kashtira. Isn't it so cool that there's an entire deck that centers around utilizing the center main monster zone, and now they can't even do that? Hell, they can't even summon a guy now. Thanks, Kashtira. They can't steal my guy. What are they gonna steal? What are they gonna steal? They have no zones to put it in. Great game. 10 out of 10. No notes. Really cool. Thanks, Konami. Sometimes you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Anyway, here's this hand. I really have nothing to say about this one. We're going to go for the Ogre. We're going to search out the Preparation, and then we're going to activate the effect of the Theosis, and we're going to special summon out the guy, which will promptly be met by the Fua, because, of course, that's fine. We're going to special summon out our Fenris here. We're going to go and activate the effect looking at the top of the deck. Oh, look, it's Exosister. Wow, crazy. I'm going to banish one of their Ellis, and then I'm going to take a look at the hand, and hey, is that triple attack? We're going to get rid of that one as well. We're going to go for the Fenris to grab up the Rise Heart, and then we're going to Xyz summon it into the Shangri-Ira. Now, I know what they have on the top of their deck is the Called By. So I know that they have Called By. That's the draw here. So we're going to banish a card and banish the top 3 of their deck, which means that we know actually none of the cards that we revealed off of the Ogre. It's fine. We can now make the Rise Heart and lock the middle main monster zone. We're just locking zones as we can here. We're going to attach material as well as add back the Big Bang and attach the Theosis. I'm also going to go for the Flare Metal Dragon, which might seem a little strange given the fact that we were under the Fuwa loss, but the reason for this is because I'm fairly certain, well, first of all, Exosister pays like life points for their effects, and it kind of puts a timer on them. I don't really have a timer outside of that, so I'm like, okay, I'll put a timer on it. we're going to special summon out the Unicorn here, and yeah, out comes Martha, because of course, we're going to rip a card from their extra deck and yoink one of their monsters. I didn't have any other things to yoink, so I'll just yoink the thing that I know that they can't interact with. They're going to grab Returnia and pay 5. We're going to attach another guy. They're going to go and banish, which is fine because we have the trap here, so we can just yoink him back. They're going to maxi us, so that's cool. Anyway, out comes Ellis. They're going to burn again. Out comes the Hime, which is going to search another card, which is also going to burn them again. And out comes Asfiel. And they're going to be like, all right, no more Macrocosmos for the Shifter deck. I don't know. Anyway, out comes Magnifica. They're going to banish the Flame there, finally. Now they no longer burn. Anyway, out comes Stella. They're going to go for the Sophia. And I am promptly going to activate the Big Bang, so that they have to get rid of their field. Cool. I'm going to lock one of their zones, which I believe I could have locked an additional one of their zones. I don't remember why I didn't. But there you go. And our opponent's going to pass. Now, I'm fairly certain this is Returnia, so that could be an issue. But luckily, we did keep the Shangra Era, and for some reason, they didn't immediately banish the Shangra Era to not give me access to Unicorn. So yeah, out comes Unicorn, and at that point, my opponent just concedes. They're like, I'm done. I can't beat that. And yay, Kashtira. Alrighty, here we are once again going first because why not? All right, our hand is pretty solid, to be fair. We're going to start off here, of course, with the Unicorn. We're going to activate its effect, and then we can activate the Wraith South in order to grab up the Rise Heart. And now we get to activate the Birth. I'm just going to normal summon the Ash here, and out comes Fuwa. Yeah. Now, to be fair, I think Baron is still objectively better here, so I'm not too beat up about it. We're going to add the Tier Cash here, and then go to Shangra Era. We're then going to banish a card in order to return, lock down the middle main monster zone because of Elf Note. And then special summon out at the Fenris again. Out comes the Rise Heart, and out comes the Tier Cash. We are going to banish one of our own cards in order to attach a card and mill them. And, hey, those are pretty good mills. So far, we've actually stolen a card from their extra deck, which was off of the Unicorn earlier. And then 6 cards off of the top of their deck, so our mill strategy is going real well. Anyway, I'm also going to go for the Rise Heart to banish our guy because I'm stupid and forgot that this card specifically requires your opponent's cards to be banished face down in order for it to then be able to lock a zone. So, oops, that's my bad. Anyway, during the standby phase, we summoned the Unicorn. My opponent's going to go for Betrayal here. Sure. They're going to pitch a card. Sure. I'm just going to yoink one of our guys here. They're going to go for Martha. They're going to go for Exciton Knight. Now, here's the thing. Let's count the cards together, shall we? Okay. My opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Now, I want you to explain to me what Exciton Knight does here. That's right, nothing. All right, we're back with the deck, and honestly, the fact that this deck is still playable, or more specifically, that it is back in the metagame and has the capability of being even remotely consistent, makes me sad, because, quite frankly, this deck is not fun to play, nor is it very fun to play against. It would be one thing if I enjoyed playing this deck and had a good time at the very least playing it, like something like Heka Hands, where it's not exactly a good time to play against because it's stealing all of your crap, but at the very least, it's fun to play, and it's kind of a goofy deck. Kashtira is none of that. Kashtira just is bad. It's a pretty bland deck, it doesn't really do a whole ton, and it's not exactly a fun deck to play against. In fact, it's probably one of the most infuriating decks to play against, because it's kind of just, do you got the out? It's basically a game of Go Fish, as opposed to a game of chess, like most Yu-Gi-Oh games can, and do generally end up being. So yeah, I don't know. It's fine that this deck is back. As long as, like, Diablosis doesn't come back or anything of that nature, or they don't add even more consistency to the deck, like adding the extra copies of Wraith South or adding the extra copies of Unicorn or something else of that nature. right? But even with that, like, I think the deck technically could be fine, but it's less a matter of meta viability and more a question of, is it fun? And the answer is no. This is one of the most frustrating decks, and a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it because of this guy's existence. If you ban a Rise Heart, like we've seen in the TCG, the Kashtira cards are generally fine, right? It's not like you can't play Kashtira without a Rise Heart, it's just that the deck, generally speaking, loses its, well, most annoying facet, which is the big floodgate that also has the ability to banish one of your cards, which is very frustrating. If you remove the big-ass floodgate, the deck's fine. Genuinely, I can deal with an extra deck rip. I can deal with the Fenrir banishing one of my cards face down. Even Ogre looking at the top of my deck and potentially sculpting it to be worse. I can deal with a lot of that stuff. What's really most frustrating is the fact that there's a big Macrocosmos that they can summon. That's kind of it, right? I mean, it's the same reason people don't like Shifter. It's the same reason people don't like Macrocosmos or Dimensional Fissure or any of those style of effects, because they kind of just auto-win games. It's an answer of, or it's a question, I guess, of, do you have the out? And if you don't, good game. That's kind of it. It's very boring. It's not a very interesting deck, but it's good. I can't lie. It's a solid deck. It does exist. It's pretty good. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I don't know why you would watch this, but thanks anyway. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.